Shout out Banks. Shout out my parents. Like, shout out y'all. Like, I fucked up, but I'm changed. Yeah, that's about it though.
52 yards. So deep. Unbelievable. You know I'm such a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you still let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? But I'm in so deep. You know I'm such a fool for you.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! This game is over!
Ayahuasca comes in number one. Someone try to stop me.
You can't go and put your team top 3 every fucking time you win a game.
Number one, your number one power-ranked motherfucking team, and this motherfucking game is Gary the Chemist. We fucking coming. We coming. Cooper motherfucking Cup, baby. He's back.
What the hawk is cooking? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Week 5 is upon us. The first week with buys. That's when the true fantasy champions come to light. Okay, it's Gary the Chemist, your commission, the greatest around manager, the ayahuasca chemist. And let's just jump to it. Let's get to the week recap.
Week recap.
All right, right off the top, Gary the Chemist, you know what it is. We took on the Dirty Bird, a man who has been hated upon, apparently. And so we took on a 9-point win. It was looking like we were heading into skullfuck territory until we were severely disappointed by RIP to my dog, Rashi Rice.
Got rice, bitch. Got rice.
I miss him. I really do. And it is what it is. But we'll see. We'll get to that in the power rankings. That said, okay, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Top performer from the Gary the Chemist side, the San Francisco defense going up against the New England Patriots, a team all of us we were worried about in terms of their offense. Not a lot of production coming over there. Another solid week of Deontay Johnson. And then on the other side of things, we got the Dirty Bart himself. His top performer, a guy who's been his top performer most of the season, Alvin Kamara, continues to get those touches, 24.9, followed shortly after by guys like Jordan Mason and Amon Ra. What a game. All right, next on the list there, we got the Mighty Wombats taking on Cop Off My Hawk. Now, this game had a lot of importance because not only was it a win for a matchup, but the median was split between these two fellas right here. It came down to the wire. Calvin Ridley with a disappointing game, but did good enough to get the Mighty Wombats their win. So top performer on the side of the Mighty Wombats. You can't ignore CJ Stroud, 23.5 points. And then Cop Off My Hawk. You know, it was a good move moving off Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson got hurt early in that game. He put in 5 points. And the decision to put in Sam Darnold playing elite ball, 21.5 points. But again, he had failed to secure a dub. Next, we're going to talk about bye week going up against the great Gatsby. All right. So, Great Gatsby pulled off a, close win. And, just to kind of emphasize the importance of that win, it wasn't. He still didn't put up enough to get him a median. But again, Gatsby won 1-1 this week. His top performer, Derrick Henry, a man that I've been wrong about. I've been wrong. I am a man enough to say it. Put in Carson Steele. He came in. He fumbled. He got benched. And then bye week on his side. It's been a two-man show for him most of the season. J.K. Dobbins has done well here and there, but it's been Lamar Jackson and it's been CeeDee Lamb, both of which putting up 23 points. So bye week took the L. A fall from grace from one of our top performers historically. Next, we're going to go down the list. We got F the Median going up against Go Pack Go. Go Pack Go. putting in solid performance after solid performance. His top performer deciding last minute, you know what, I'm going to put in Jordan Love. He's going to be playing this week. 31 points. A productive effort. I know that, honestly, it was all that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter was nuts for the Packers. I mean, they were looking like shit during the first half. And then on the other side, F the median, 37. Count them. Whoops. Ladies and gentlemen, I am blind. 27. Jaden Reed. Again, Josh Jacobs concerning the amount of emphasis that Wilson's been kind of getting. But Jaden Reed with Jordan Love in the lineup has been absolutely fire. All right, next we got a recent name change. Rage Quit Season going up against the Kneecap Collector, one of the biggest fallers in the draft. You're going to hear, or the power rankings. I keep saying that. That said, top performer for Rage Quit Season includes not even anybody hit really the 20s. We got about a 19.8, so very close game from Jonathan Taylor, who did finish the game with an injury. Something concerning for a guy like Gideon, who has been battling injuries all season. Okay. And then on the other side of things, the Kneecap Collector, a man who has had a wonderful wide receivers, but the person that really had come up and performed well, his kicker put up 20 points. And then DeAndre Swift, one of talented but just stupid running backs in the NFL, cannot hit a hole to save his life. 29.5 points. I don't think you're going to get that again. He's just not good. He's just not. Who are we lying to trying to act like DeAndre Swift is a solid running back? He's just not. Lions fans, we know that. We know what the truth is. Okay. And the last but not least, we're going to go to the Cincinnati Lights. Number one in my power rankings, putting up 137 points, taking the median, but losing to the Tribe Called Questionable. Okay. So, Cincinnati Lights, where did he go wrong? Kyler Murray, terrible game. Bijan's been subpar-ish, but still producing solid amount of effort. But the top performer on his side of things, Nico Collins, the Michigan man himself, 33 points. Followed by Malik Neighbors, 23 points. And the other side, Tribe Called Questionable. Jaden Daniels, what a steal. He looks great. And Kenneth Walker going up against one of the toughest defenses, rush defenses in the NFL. The Detroit Lions, your Detroit Lions, my Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions, Motor City. And he put up 33 points. A solid effort all around from the Tribe Called Questionable. And even guys like plugging in Xavier Legette, putting up 20 points, the rookie himself, the Southern man himself, riding the dollar penny, the horse. So there's your recap. There's your wins. Ladies and gentlemen, no skull fucks this week. Let's go ahead and look at the waiver wire.
Waiver Wire.
All right, the most bid player this week, Dontavian Wicks, was on free agency. Dropped for Adam Thielen by Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman trying to go ahead and rebound here. Dontavian Wicks, it's hard. He's a solid player. He's a good player, but like Green Bay offense. I mean, Christian Watson, he's down, so maybe that'll kind of put more touches his way. But Dontavian Wicks a very solid wide receiver. Going down the list, a man who I had on my team most of the season, Josh Downs. I had to drop him because my team started getting loaded. It was loaded, ladies and gentlemen. But I like Josh Downs. The question is, how much of that performance was due to having a competent, quarterback who can throw a football? Even Michael Pittman had a good week. Josh Downs had a good week. He looked good, but we'll see how things end up shaping out because Anthony Richardson, a hit pointer, he shouldn't miss much time. Going down the list, if there's anything in particular that sticks out, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who knows what's going on with that big backfield? Would not get excited. But Ricky Pearsall, he's not going to do anything. And then you go down Trey Sermon. Oh, I picked up Trey Sermon. Oh, he might be a plug and play in these bye weeks. Jonathan Taylor, he's hurt. We'll see how that ends up coming to fruition. We got Joe Flacco getting picked up. What year is it, ladies and gentlemen? But he looked pretty good. Zeke finally got dropped, which is about time. And so did Caleb Williams. Both look like absolute dog shit. Okay. Alrighty. So with that said, that's your waiver wire. Let's just get to the early introduction of the power rankings.
Power Rankings.
Power rankings. Couple of shape ups this week. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of
sounds like a lot of
about what's going on out there. And I just wanted to let you guys know there's been a couple of shakeups. Again, I do not care if you won this week. I do not care if you lost this week. I just care about how good your team looks. How scared am I as one of your alphas? You heard that right. As one of your alphas of your team. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not scared of many. I'm just not. Okay, let's get to the 12. Not going to be a big surprise here. I'll say it. You'll say it at the same time. All right, there you go.
Number 12.
The mighty Wombats. Congratulations on the first win of the season. 2-6. A solid effort from my guy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, he's not really moving. And why is that? CMC. He went to Germany, came back. The man bilateral Achilles tendonitis. We're not even sure if this man has legs because I don't know what to believe out there. CMC doesn't look like he's coming back soon. Then you got Devontae. Oh, man. He's asking for out. Okay. And to be honest, he might end up being better somewhere else. But only time will tell, right? He's getting up there in age, and we're going to have to kind of see. Jordan Addison looked good. Chuba Hubbard looked pretty solid. Okay, but Ayuk, another disappointing performance. What is going on over there? I'm expecting Kelsey to do a little bit better with the Rashee Rice news, but ladies and gentlemen, what news do we really have about Rashee Rice? None of us really know what's going on. Calvin Ridley, Will Levis cannot throw a football, okay, and then turns out his backup can't either. Mason Rudolph. Can you believe it? Mason Rudolph. With that said, there you go. Number 12. Couple of solid players. A lot of disappointment. Let's get to the next one.
Number 11.
Despite being 7th. Oh, wait. Whoopsie. Missed a bye week. Okay. Nothing really changed here. He knows why he's here. There's just not a lot to get scared about. Okay. Let's start off right at the top. Mark Andrews. Oh, my God. I told you guys Mark Andrews is going to be fine. I was wrong. And again, I'm a man. I'll tell you when I'm wrong. And ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. Mark Andrews, you should be scared. I don't know what's going on over there. I thought it was originally his injuries. Who knows? J.K. Dobbins, Devin Singletary, kind of going to be hit or miss depending on that matchup, especially with the injuries for both teams. C.D. Lamb, Lamar Jackson have been two studs for him, but it's going to be hard to say if how C.D. Lamb's going to produce when there's nobody else doing anything on that Dallas offense. Mike Evans, when he took that man, he told us, hey, you guys are not going to like this pick. And he was right. 23 points week 1, then 7, then 3, then 23 points week 4. Is that a man you can trust in your wide receiver position? Is that a man whose name on the ballot you would check off? I say no, no, no. And then last but not least, Samaje Perine, come on. You're not going to get anything out of Perine. Who knows? CEH is there. Hunt is there. They still maybe like Steele. You're losing guys like Watson. Mike Williams doing nothing. Zamir White is dog shit. It's just not looking good for Mr. Bye Week. So he sits there at number 11. Why don't we jump to number 10? Another faller.
Number 10.
Despite being 7th in the standings, he is number 10 in my power rank. Is Mr. Gideon. Mr. Cheating Always Works. Mr. Rage Quit Sees It. It goes by many names. Okay. So, with that said, what do we not like about what's going on with him? The injuries. Losing Jonathan Taylor. I know that because their listing is questionable. From what I'm hearing, it's a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss some time. Okay. Stephon Diggs think that was going to be on the forefront. He's coming back. Jalen Naylor. Jordan Addison looks like he's a dog. He's back. And then Rashid Shaheed. What are you going to do when he doesn't play well? Because sometimes the man does not play well. Okay? Is this thing starting to lag on me, or is this just what I'm noticing? Because it's a little iffy here. That said, Jordan Addison, Isavias, Cam Akers. I mean, I like Joe Mixon. I like Pollard, but Tajay Spears, y'all know how I feel about those backup talented running backs. And then who knows what's really going on with Puka? Is he going to come right back? And the last but not least, Gideon, my man, my boy. Why do you have 3 tight ends? It's a wasteland. It's a wasted position. You don't need 3 tight ends. Okay, number 10, Mr. Gideon. Let's go ahead. He's 4-4. Let's jump to number 9.
Number 9.
Alrighty. Congratulations to the great Gatsby. My man had finally won a game. Good for him. I'm happy for him. And you know what? I know I keep doing this, but I just love it. Anyone who's ever watched LSU knows what I'm talking about. It's about that. Okay. So with that said, up one spot, the great Gatsby. I was wrong about Derrick Henry's producing well, but I still think he's a great game script dependent running back. Now, Jamar Chase playing well, but only 7 targets. He hasn't really exceeded 7 targets in a game. Kind of concerning, but we'll see how that ends up going. Brock Bowers, top 3 tight end, honestly, rest of the way, looking at it. Now, Ramondre Stevenson keeps fumbling. I feel like they're going to start phasing him out. I like Jackson Smith and Jigma, but then what do you got after that? Cameron Sutton? Roshan Johnson was a guy I kind of like to pick up, but I don't know. I don't know if you can trust anything out of that offense. Jalen Waddle, dead on arrival without Tua Tagovailoa. And then Lazard's like hit or miss. You don't know if he's going to catch the ball that week versus not. So really, there's nothing going on the bench there that to be kind of excited about. The man, I mean, he's got Joe Flacco. What's his name might come back this week? Oh, did it end up already blasting? Whatever, either way. Richardson might come back this week. Week in, week out, this man does not have a kicker until the last moment. I kind of respect the strategy. You know, he's been very active on the waiver wire, and I respect that. I respect that a lot. But there you go. Number 9, the great Gatsby, your former commissioner, up one spot. All right, let's get to the next one.
Number 8.
All righty. 5-3, but number 8 in my power rankings. Down how many spots we got? 1, 2 spots? I don't even know. It looks like down 1 spot. The kneecap collector. Okay, now, historically, you guys know I sit here, I talk about his wide receivers. But man, Tyreek, that hurts. Seeing a man of his pedigree playing so bad. It's got, I mean, the kneecap collector is out here starting Kareem Hunt and Romeo Dobbs.
It's a trap!
What are you doing, the Kareem Hunt?
It's a trap!
You don't need to get excited about Kareem Hunt. CEH, there's a lot of plethora of guys that, I mean, honestly, Steele might even take the touches back. So that's kind of concerning. And then, you know, I still like James Conner the rest of the way, though the targets are not there for him. He's gotten this hit or miss with guys like J-Mo. Laporta's been concerning, which, man, I'm just waiting for him to, you know, have his come out party. Devontae Smith took a mean hit. I don't know. It's always hard to gauge with these concussions. How much time are these guys going to miss? Okay. But a fall from grace, a previous top 3 team in our power rankings, down to number 8, the kneecap collector. All right. Give me that. Your time's up. Your time is up. Next.
Number 7.
Number 7. Another man who has adjusted in our power rank has gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down. But this is Cop Off My Hawk. Okay. So what's going on with Cop Off My Hawk? You know, one of the things that he had, and I know I always talk about his receivers. Again, guys who, for example, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin playing well football because their quarterbacks can play well football. Then you got guys like Pittman, who played well last week with Joe Flacco in the game. But what ends up happening? Anthony Richardson comes back. You might not get that production. Okay. And then again, you know, this is the same thing over and over and over again. I keep saying it, but, you know, Garrett Wilson too, man. Who knows? Was he worth a first-round pick? Probably not. But let me go back to one of my previous things I constantly said with him. He always asked me, like, why are you obsessed with backup running backs? Because sometimes the backup's just better. Bucky Irvin, he's better than Rashad White. Tank Bigsby can run the ball better than Travis Etienne. I think they're going to start gearing a little bit more towards Tank. They'll still have Etienne, but you can even see him as a third down. I mean, it's just not there. So, that said, he's got the best kicker in the league, an absolute stud. I forgot what the stats were. Honestly, I had him at one point in front of me. But essentially, you were looking at a guy who was producing at a level that was equivalent to many top receivers, many top running backs. Brandon Aubrey. What a pick. Guy. All right. I do like to pick up. I like Sam Darnold. Okay, but number 7, down a spot. Missed the cop off my hawk. Next.
Number 6.
Alrighty. Sorry, the computer's freaking out here. But number 6, the Dirty Bird coming off an injury to your boy. Okay. So the Dirty Bird for him. All right, sleeper just absolutely closed on me. So we're going to have to do this as a little last second extravaganza. But we'll start the timer because I already know what I got to say. I just beat the man. Okay. So I know what to say about him. So the Dirty Bird. Now, the Dirty Bird's been relying on guys like Devon Achane. Okay. Without Tua, even Achane looks like dog shit. They can't do anything over there. Is Mike McDaniels a good coach? I like Mike McDaniels. Why is that team not able to do anything without Tua? It's weird. Look at Matt LaFleur. Fucking Malik Willis made him look like, hey, he was a fucking Pro Bowler. Okay. So I don't know. I'm concerned over there. The Dirty Bird, Kamara is still a stud. Okay. So he can feel good about having a guy like him. He continued to get the touches. Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to get the touches. Kyle Pitts, we got to give up on him, ladies and gentlemen. We just have to. We just have to. There's no need to sit there and continue acting like this guy could do something. Okay, he just dropped Caleb Williams. He's got Jared Goff. Can Jared Goff do anything for him? I'd gather no. Ladim Conk coming off a good name. Keon Coleman. Nick Chubb coming off these injuries. Like, I think there's definitely some room for him to go up. But right now, for the time being, based off what I'm looking at, he's number 6 in my power rankings. Not because he did so much wrong, but there's a lot of guys doing some things that are very right. Okay, next.
Number 5.
Number 5. I don't know if this was anticipated by many people, but I got F the median, a man who is 2-6, up here at number 5. Up 3 spots on my power rankings. And then they asked me, what are you thinking? Why would you do this? Look, I am not worried about Breece Hall. Breece Hall will be fine. Josh Jacobs starting to split touches with Wilson, but I still think he'll be fine. Okay, he'll be serviceable. Jaden Reed, when Jordan Love is in the game, he produces. Okay. DJ Moore, he's got to find a way. Like, he's DJ Moore. He's too talented for it not to work. And I think it will work. Aaron Jones continues to get the red zone touches. They're starting to take some work away from him, but I think he continues to have those high yield touches that are going to produce points for him. And then on his bench, he's getting Debo back. I love Josh Downs. He has a couple of productive tight ends in both Ertz and David Njoku. So I think both of them could play well for him. Christian Kirk, kind of hit or miss there. But top to bottom, I look at his bench and I'm like, you know what? Some of these guys, they're going to work really well for him in a pinch during these bye weeks. And I think for a lot of these other teams, when I look at their teams, I say they do not. They're kind of hurting. So that's why I got F the median, formerly known as slide rate at number 5. There you go. So let's get to our top 4.
Number 4.
All right, 6-2. A great team. Did nothing wrong this past week. I still feel good about him, but the reason why he's number 4 is because somebody had to jump up. Okay. So, Tribe Called Questionable. Your former back-to-back champion, Jaden Daniels. Oh my God. Jaden Daniels. Looked great. He's finding a way to make it work, which I'm surprised. I did not think this was going to happen. You know, it didn't feel like he was really pushing the ball downfield or anything like that in the first couple of weeks, but he has been lately. So that, you guys know how I feel about Bucky Irvin. I like Bucky. Honestly, he might overtake Rashad White. James Cook still looks good. Then you look at his receivers. Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison. Then you got K9 and Keenan. You got Xavier Legette, who there's trade rumors for Adam Thielen, who's currently on IR to go elsewhere. Okay, then Jonathan Brooks lying in the wake. I know I've said that multiple weeks in a row, but it's true. There's guys where if they tend to hit, people are going to be in trouble. So the Tribe Called Questionable. Number 4. There you go. Let's get to the top 3. For the love of God, hit next.
Number 3.
I've doubted the man for too long. I got to give him his props. Mr. Go Pack Go, Mr. No Pack No. Okay. Now, Jordan Love. He's a man who throws touchdowns. I don't know what else to say. He throws picks, but who cares? It's fantasy football. We don't care about that. When he plays the Lions, I'll care about it. Right now, I do not care about it. So Jordan Love continues, when he's playing, play well. Okay, now he's had some disappointments, a poor week out of Flowers. Jacoby Myers, we'll see if Devontae Adams gets traded. Myers, historically, not even a guy who gets touchdowns, but gets touches, gets them targets. Back to back to back weeks here, we got 9, 10, 9 targets. He actually scored a touchdown, which was kind of interesting. Oh, okay, well, maybe we can cut this short. DK Metcalf. Man, who saw that? Who saw that clip of DK Metcalf walking up to Calvin? Calvin's a big boy. Xavier Worthy with Rashee Rice injury. I still not interested. I'm just not. Okay. But the same thing we've said week after week after week after week. Saquon Barkley and Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay. Jared Goff went 18 for 18, and yet we punted 3 times. Why? Because the Lions run the fucking football. Okay. And by God, if we fucking run it and we don't get it, then it is what it is. But sometimes we will just run it like 3 straight times and have to punt. I mean, it is what it is. But the reason why I say that is because guys like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are going to produce. These are guys who, when it gets down to the red zone lines, are just, they'll throw a couple trick plays. But at the end of the day, they're just going to run it down your fucking throat. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and then, of course, Saquon Barkley, another guy who's just playing ridiculously well. So that's why I got number 3, Mr. Go Pack Go, Mr. No Pack No. All right. So the next question is, ladies and gentlemen, they asked if I would do it. They asked, when it came to the top 2, what are you going to do? Are you going to put yourself number 1? I mean, you're top of the league, top of the standings. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Number 2.
Yeah, I'm number 2. So the reason why, if I had Rashee Rice and he was not hurt, I'd be number 1 by a landslide. I have not had my first round wide receiver for a hot minute, and it did not matter. Okay. So what do I like about my team? I just touched on the fact of, like, the Lions just love to run the football. Y'all see David Montgomery, when he gets going, this team gets going. Okay. So that's a solid RB2 to have. And then Kyron Williams has just been like, the entire offense. When Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua come back, it's still going to be Kyron. Because, like, they just love to funnel their studs. Okay. Now, when it comes to receiver, Brian Thomas, wow, he's been playing really well. Okay. Khalil Shakir's been playing well. Deontay Johnson, the resurgence. Back-to-back. Bro, he dropped a touchdown and still put up 22 points. Then the week before, 26 points. I'm telling you, Andy Dalton, the best thing to happen to this man's career in a long time. Okay. And then to top it off, A.J. Brown, Rashee Rice, Dr. Bazzi had mentioned PCL. I looked at it and I'm like, it doesn't look like a season-ending injury. I didn't see a lot of pivot in the tibia or anything like that in the lower leg to kind of suggest that he was definitely going to tear an ACL. But all the reports came out and said ACL. Now people are backtracking. They're doing some imaging. This man might be back. Okay. Maybe a PCL, maybe a little bit of a meniscus. We'll see. But he may be able to come back and support your boy. Wan'Dale Robinson, shitload of targets. That's all I got to say. He can't do shit, but he gets a lot of targets. So there you go. So then, last but not least, number 1.
Number 1.
Look. They tell me, hop off his cock, cop off his hock, but I like what he's doing. The Cincinnati Lights, come here. Come here. Come here. He's doing it right. Okay, so look, Bijan's gonna be fine. You guys know I love, like, talented backup running backs, because they always find a way of finding a way to the football. So Tank Bigsby, I like Tank Bigsby. I think they might start feeding him a little bit. I think Doug Peterson's going to feel like his seat's a little threatened. Okay. But that's not why we love his team, right? It all comes down to guys like Nico Collins, the leading receiver in the NFL, Malik Neighbors, ridiculous amount of targets, Chris Olave, and an offense that when they get going, it's going. And then T. Higgins coming back after injury. Then on his bench, another backup running back I really like, Tajay Spears, starting better, Chase Brown. I mean, Jawan Jennings, Darnell Mooney, Rico Dowdle, Uncle Rico, not playing too well. But that said, really just top to bottom, just such a good team. You guys, I've said it week after week, and I'm sure you're all tired of hearing it, but it's just true. He's got the best roster. Now, that said, he's sitting there in the standings. He's number 5. He's 5-3. But we like what he's doing. Okay? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your power rankings. Take a look. Look, now, the skulls, they're going to stay for the season. Okay? So get your skull fucks. Wrap them up. Get my face covered with all them skull fucks. Okay? With that said, y'all have been absolutely terrible. You guys can go fuck yourselves. I do not give a fuck. Bye. Bye-bye.